Mr. Michael Cunningham, a Chartered Accountant and Chartered Secretary, will speak to you this week on ways to recover from COVID-19, Part 2.
Thank you, Michael, for that introduction. Last week we looked at the financial impact of COVID-19 and the road to recovery, Part 1. Today we're looking at the financial impact of COVID-19 and the road to recovery, Part 2. Many countries have opened or beginning to open their borders to the outside world. Many companies are opening their doors to the domestic economy and even the international economy in order to get its operation back or in a better position than where it was pre-COVID-19. The most important element that must be considered or looked at this particular time as we move forward in the road to recovery is that of cash and cash management. Cash is king. If you don't have cash or access to cash as you move forward, your operation will not survive this pandemic. Now that you've beginning to understand and appreciate the shift that your operation must make as it relates to the products that you were selling, as it relates to the service that you were rendering, now you must factor those changes into your cash management plan. You should, at this particular point in time, put together a detailed cash management plan for the next 12 months as you move forward to get your operation to a level of profitability or being able to sustain the operation itself. These are the elements that must be considered. The staffing costs as it relates to your employees must be considered. There may be a need to shift the number of employees that you have. There may be a need to make some redundant. There may be a need to minimize or eliminate a number of employees. Why is that the case? Because this is hard times and you must look at it carefully, and employee cost is the highest cost in your operation. Look at what is the minimum that is required in order to make your company successful. Another important element in the cash management plan is that of loan commitments. There may have been a number of loan commitments entered into pre-COVID-19. These covenants must be met, or there must be some negotiating with your lenders in order to change the covenant to make your cash flow more manageable. The kind of relationship that you would have fostered with your lender or your banker will determine the kind of relaxed terms that they may be prepared to negotiate for you, and even that of your landlord if you have long-term lease or even short-term lease arrangement. Another factor in your cash management plan is that of capital expenditure. You should only engage in capital expenditure that's absolutely necessary. Your plan pre-COVID-19 may have had some new commitments for capital expenditure. They may have to be abandoned or deferred because you must look at what is necessary and vital to sustain and get your business over the bumps or the humps as we move forward. It may be tempting to invest what may appear to be surplus cash in some risky investment, but I implore you not to engage in those kinds of activities at this time. Why? Because if you miss the boat, your ship will definitely sink. Dwell on things you understand and things you know best in order to bring your operation into a better survival mode. There will be bumps along the way. But if you follow your plan and execute well, the chances of survival is great. But there are no guarantees. Stay safe and see you next week.